Welcome to Utique Lifestyle. This is a wardrobe planning series in collaboration with So Much Fabric, where fabric is sewn into fashion. In this video, I'm going to show you the general process of how I sewed my bishop sleeve blouse, in which I got to wear to Runway Houston's fashion show. There will be a focus on how I altered the toile to make the sleeve fuller. Because Roz did an excellent job on the asymmetrical dress, I gave her the creative freedom for this fashion show outfit. So let's get started. I had used a block pattern for my red lace blouse to create my toile. After my toile was complete, Roz did a fitting for me. And you can see here she took it in from the back and then made minor changes to the neckline. At this stage, I already knew I wanted fuller sleeves. So after the fitting, I took apart the toile. And this is where I would alter the sleeve to make it more full. I took the sleeve toile and drew a line across at the bicep. Then I drew a line down the middle of the sleeve. I divided one side in half and drew a line down the center, and then on the other side I divided in half and then drew a line down the center. So I basically divided it into fourths. Now I'm going to cut a slit into the bicep line and then cut across without cutting into the seams. I will now cut along all the other lines, but do not cut into the bicep line. Here I'm taping paper together and then I'm going to lay the toile on top, and then I spread it out to the width of the fabric. Now I'm going to trace it all the way around to get the new pattern. After it's been traced and the markings are done, just cut all the way around. And I now have a new pattern. And this is the new toile with fuller sleeves and a better fit. I didn't have the chance to take the toile apart before seeing Roz, so I took it apart while I was at her fabric warehouse. Then she laid it out to see how much of the 16-ounce midnight black ponte knit I needed. She now laid out and prepared the black tricot lining. Now I'm ready to lay out the toile, pin, and cut. Before cutting the bottom pieces of the bodice, I received a text from Roz to cut 4 inches extra in length. So that I did. I added 4 inches to the bodice. And now I'm going to cut the fabric. Next, I will thread trace and sew the darts. I like to thread trace because I can feel the threads from both sides of the fabric. Now sew along all the darts. Once all the darts are sewn, we are ready to sew everything together. I will sew the front and back shoulder pieces together. Here I move the back pieces to the top. Before I move forward, I'm going to attach the lining at the neckline. Then I'm going to open it up and then do an edge stitch. I will cut slits at the curve, and then I will sew the other side of the neckline. I am going to open it up and edge stitch it as far as I can go. Now repeat for the other side. I will also cut slits along the curve. At first I was going to roll one side, but then decided to stick my thumb through and pull on the narrow end and pull it through. And once it gets through, I was just going to tug and pull at it until it's flipped inside out. And now I'm going to press the shoulder pieces. I'm going to attach the bottom bodice piece. However, I'm not going to sew about 1/2 inch on each side. Attach the back bodice and we are ready to attach the sleeves. I will attach the sleeve to the fashion fabric and not the lining. After pinning on the sleeve, I'm going to repeat it for the other side and then sew on the sleeves. Now that the sleeves are attached to the fashion fabrics, I'm going to cut slits along the curve. Repeat for the other side. Now I am ready for the next step. I am going to take it to the serger and serge along the hem of the sleeve. Repeat it for both sleeves, and now I am ready to sew along the sides. Here I rolled up the sleeve and stitched 1/2 inch. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch braided elastic. I will take one end and put a safety pin through it. I did leave an opening on the sleeve to pull the safety pin through. I kept sliding the safety pin until I got to the opening again. I made sure it was pulled tight and that my hand was able to go through it. Now I'm going to overlay the elastic and do a zigzag stitch. Trim off the excess elastic and tuck the elastic inside the seam and sew it closed. And now you can repeat it for the other sleeve. I had another fitting with Roz, and because I did lose some weight from marathon training, she did have to take up at the front bodice and then take it in at the front bodice and the back. After the fitting session, we also shopped for accessories, so don't miss the video. I'll make sure to put the link at the end of this video. So I did the minor alterations and I am now ready to do the finishing touches, in which I used a slip stitch to finish the hem, hand stitch the lining around the armhole, attached and closed off the inner lining, and I was complete with the bishop sleeve blouse. This is how the back of the blouse looks like. It has an open back, and I do love the bishop sleeve blouse. Here are a few outfits I put together, which includes my me-made red lace skirt and the checkered skirt. And the last outfit is the blouse worn with my silk A-line skirt. And this is the outfit I wore to Runway Houston. Which outfit do you like the best? Or how would you have styled this bishop sleeve blouse? I also got to wear it to celebrate Stephanie and Julie's birthdays. Happy birthday, ladies! Here are some highlights from the Houston Runway Fashion Show. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell for future new videos. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you got inspired to create something extraordinary out of the ordinary.